In the context of talking about culture change, in your book, you talk a lot about language. And can you
Yeah.
just take a moment to explain why it is healthier for us in workplace cultures to talk about virtual work as opposed to remote work?
Yeah.
Why we need to call it return to office as opposed to return to work, so that after today we can all use healthier language in the
Yeah.
context of flexibility?
So I buy into the theory that words create worlds and the idea of we have to be thinking about what's the world that we want to create. And so when we think about remote, it tends to say, isolated, we're apart, we're separated. And in today's world with technology, that actually technology has a way of bringing us all together. And so I like the word, we're working in a virtual situation. We're not saying you're isolated, you're apart, you're separate. We're actually using technology to bring us all together. The return to work was something that during the pandemic or in the post-pandemic time would frustrate me to no end because I would say, your people have been working all along. Right? There's not a return to work. They have been working. They've been keeping your organizations alive and thriving. And so that idea of this might be a return to office. I also think about when people say, oh, I'm going to work. We say work is not a place, right? Work is wherever our location. When you're home, you're working. And it's not that I'm going to I would say you're going to the office. You're not going to work because you've been working when you're working from home. So paying attention to language to me really makes a difference, both in the impression that it makes for people, but also just am I feeding into a narrative that is not healthy for any of us?
Well, the first time you shared, I think you were on a panel and you were speaking, and I heard you say this, that we should be using virtual work versus remote work. It was mind blowing for me. I thought to myself, and it was in the midst of the pandemic, and I thought it's such a good point because, as we all know, everyone, language matters. And so these simple, small, but important tweaks to how we frame flexible work, flexibility is critical.